Hi, today we are on Pillar 6, Week 11, talking about discovering who you really are. So, in this week, I want to share with you that even though you were brought up a certain way, you heard certain things were happened to you, you experienced certain things, it doesn't have to define who you are. You can decide if those things are contrary to who you are becoming and who you want to be and how you want to represent yourself in your life. You don't have to stay stuck in a mindset of what someone else projected onto you. You can decide to change your belief when you change how you think about yourself and how you see yourself. You don't have to, again, look at yourself through the eyes of someone else, how they things they said about you, how they treated you, how they thought of you. Those things aren't important anymore. What matters is what you think about yourself and the story that you tell yourself in your own mind. I learned along the way that you can think out of two different states. You can have either a powerful state of thinking or a state of thinking that's primal. And when you operate out of a powerful state, that means you're bringing joy, curiosity, excitement, peace, and passion to your life. But when you operate out of a primal state, you're functioning under boredom, anger, frustration, or fear. And those are contrary to who God is and to what God wants for you. So we have to learn to operate in a rest and relaxation, which is more powerful than that primal state of fight or flight, where you're always anxious or concerned or worried or fearful. And a lot of that comes from the trauma we've experienced, the things that have happened to us, the things that have been said to us. So we have to learn to operate under a different state. We have to learn to relax. We have to learn how to rest, and even as simple as learning how to breathe. And a lot of times people who have experienced trauma and abuse, we walk around holding our breath most of the time, waiting for the next thing to happen, waiting for the next thing to be said or done to us. So we're constantly in this fear state. So we need to learn how to operate in a more powerful way, in a way that Jesus has ordained for us to find that rest, to find that relaxation, to trust in Him, and to live according to His will and His plan. And it's never fear, because remember the word says that God is not fear. He operates in power and love, and He gives us a sound mind. So we don't have to stay in that fight or flight state. We can move forward by deciding how we think and what we believe about ourselves to be true. To become who you really are, you've got to decide to think in a way that's beneficial to you. By doing so, you'll be operating in this powerful state, which will cause you to rest and to relax more. And this is so important, because if we don't do that, we're always going to be anxious and we're always going to be fearful. Changing your belief may challenge you, but it's worth it, because it's going to help you discover who you are. Remember, the thoughts you have, the things you think, will cause you to feel a certain way, and that feeling will cause you to act in a certain way. And we have to learn how not to depend on our feelings to get us through the day. We've got to choose to believe and to think how God sees us and how He thinks about us. Because when we begin to see ourselves the way God sees us, that's when we become the person we really are. That's when we can experience ourselves. We can look at ourselves in the mirror and begin to like what we see, and then we can become who we really are. In this week's workbook, there's a lesson in here, or an activity in here, changing your beliefs exercise, and their I believe statements. And I've given you some examples, and then I'd like you to write your own. But some examples are: I believe I deserve peace. I believe I'm in my sound mind. And I believe I don't have to blame others for my life. So when you start to believe certain things about yourself and your life and where you are in your life, you begin to change your life. Also, I want to read to you something that was written in here that leads to an exercise called Thoughts Equals Actions. What you think about yourself is going to determine how you behave. Be careful how you define yourself, because that's going to be who you become. So you have to imagine that you already see yourself as the person you want to be. So you already have to begin to believe that you're the person that you're becoming. You're already that person. You're not going to behave anymore based on what someone else thinks about you or has said about you. You're going to walk and act and carry yourself in a way and how you want to represent yourself to yourself and to the world. Because when you begin to think about yourself different, you begin to change how you carry yourself and how you relate to yourself in this world. And this is so important too when it comes into play of attracting the right people in your life, because when you become more confident and you're in a more restful, relaxed state, in a more powerful state, and you're living the way God wants you to, you're going to attract those people that God would have for you to come into your life. So that is week 11, discovering who you are. And the main thing is to remember that even though things were done to you, said to you, you were treated a certain way, you don't have to believe those things for yourself as an adult anymore. You know, you can change your beliefs by changing how you think about yourself and how you see yourself. So enjoy going through this workbook, and I'm sure it's going to be very helpful to you. I know it's helped change my life. And I'll talk to you soon.